someone who doesn't stop at the fucking stop line.
I've done that. I go right over the crosswalk and I block the people's path of walking. Is that bad? Maybe. Do I care? Not really. Drivers that really piss me off. Put one of you have your driver's license in the chat.
Yesterday, some lady cut me off in a parking lot, honked at me, parked sideways in a handicap spot, and then walked away. I was pissed. That was just one of 21 types of drivers who piss me off.
I don't know if I haven't driven enough. I've never seen someone park sideways in a handicap. Yo, these damn people with the handicap badge that they can put on their front windshield though, they be kind of petty low-key sometimes. If you have a grandma that drives, you can use their handicap and put it in your car, and then no one will ever know. You always get a good parking spot. Okay? Is that unethical and illegal? Yes, don't do it.
Sometimes out in the wild, you'll see a dude who is not aware of the little lever behind the steering wheel. Typically, it's BMW drivers, but this issue affects many.
Yo,
when I'm driving in the left lane and
off.
some dude just slowly drifts in front of me from the right lane without any notice, it pisses me off. Like, dude, feel free to give me a warning. They put that—
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this is my mom. Not to hate on my mother, but sometimes she does occasionally forget to put the clicker on, and that's okay, right? Moms, you know, I'm not gonna call you out or anything. You know the people that hit the clicker when they're midway through changing lanes? Like, that might be the biggest LARP of all time. Like, you just put it on because you want to seem legal.
That fucking light on the back of the car for a reason. Do you think BMW spent millions manufacturing a functioning blinker just for it to collect dust? The answer is no. Speaking of these dudes just drifting into the left lane,
this is even worse on the highway when we're going at like 100 kilometers per hour, and then there's the one guy that's like changing 6 lanes without hitting his clicker. He's just like oh! Good luck, everyone. Oh yeah, you guys overtake on the left. You can overtake on any side if there's 3 lanes. It doesn't matter. Do we have to overtake on the left? Is that a rule? Wait, am I stupid? Okay, whenever I'm going to work, I usually leave a little bit too late, and then I only have like 15 minutes to get there, but it's 21 minutes away. 21 minutes. Not when I'm driving. I get there in 15.
Like, actually, there are not just 2 lanes on the road for the sake of it. If you're gonna be in the left lane, you're passing. If you're in the right lane, then you're chilling. Why do I see people chilling in the left lane? Not only is it annoying, but it's also probably one of the reasons that people start cutting up and driving like shit.
I don't know. Am I an idiot? I've never been told that the left lane is the passing lane. That's a thing?
If you're going fast and another dude is not going fast, then you're gonna go around them, right? Yep. Another thing about these left lane campers is that they're in absolutely no rush until you try to pass them. I'll be going 5 under behind one of these campers and then go 60 to pass them, and all of a sudden they're going 65, which makes me want to just drive straight into their rear. Okay, this sounds—
Yo, this is actually a good point, bro. Whenever I'm driving next to someone, for some reason, I always want to be the one that's faster. I feel like they're challenging me because they're always trying to go the same speed that I am, and then I have to go a little bit faster, and then it's just like boom, back and forth. It feels like we're racing or something. We actually had an experience today where I almost crashed into a car because of overtaking on the right. I wanted to go into the right lane to overtake this guy that was in front of me. Basically, as I was trying to go into the right lane, this guy turns out of a parking lot right as I'm trying to turn, and then we almost collide, but then I swiftly go back into the left lane last second. It kind of makes sense now.
It's a little hypocritical, but tailgating also pisses me off. Bella, the only reason I'm going 25 miles an hour is because we're in a school zone. I know I'll probably get a pretty sweet insurance claim with a simple downshift, but it's just so awkward when some loser is just driving right on my bumper. The main time it really pisses me off is when I'm driving my manual Mini Cooper. I'm not gonna—
The way he said that is like he has multiple cars. Is this guy balling out? What the hell?
I'm kind of a genie with the clutch, so best believe I'm not gonna be rolling back into someone's car. That being said,
I've never learned manual, chat.
I hit legs or something, never learned it. Slips, just some bullshit happens where the car rolls back. There needs to be a little bit of room, duh. Someone is right on my ass and I roll back a bit, I'd probably be at fault. That's when the big iron comes out because I'd be about as pissed as fuck. The only time the tailgating really gets to me is on the—
Tailgating is something that I'll never do. There's certain things on the road I'm okay with, right? Going a little over the speed limit's not that bad, right? Going like 80 into school zones, not good. Don't do that. Don't do that. I lied. But yo, tailgating Getting right behind someone like that is the most annoying thing. Wasn't manual the only thing before automatic was invented? It was first, and then after they came up with automatic, right? Automatic is just so convenient. Why would you want to do all? You're literally burning hella calories in manual, bro. You're going back and forth with your hand. I'm good.
I'll be trying to merge and a dude will just not make space. Zipper merging is key. If we could somehow just figure that out as a society, then that would be cool. I feel like the merging issues are more with on-ramps though. Sometimes it's just because it's a on-ramp, but other times the people who are already on the freeway are just trying to play defense or some shit. Like this one time I was driving on the on-ramp and there was somebody already on the freeway who was right next to me. Picture this, the left lane was completely empty and they were in the right lane and I was right next to them on the on-ramp. So as you do, I slowed down a little bit so I could merge behind them. But instead of getting over, instead of maintaining their speed, this bitch stomped the brakes. We both damn near hit.
That's brain rot. I've never had this happen. If anyone does this to you, they need their license revoked. If you're trying to merge onto a highway, all you have to do is hope that the person on the closest lane moves over.
Stand still because they literally stopped on the freeway since I was next to them. I don't know how they didn't get rear-ended, and I don't know why they didn't go in the left lane, but that pissed me off. It didn't piss me off as much as blinding headlights though. I can't be the only one who thinks the older style of headlights.
This makes me so mad. Chat, is it bad that I don't know how to turn on and off my lights in my car? Is that bad?
Is plenty bright enough. All of my cars have relatively dim halogens and I can always see perfectly fine. But for some reason, people just need to see at night with the brightness of the sun. Those LED bulbs are completely lethal, especially while trying to get on the freeway or something. This isn't really an issue while
I just tank it though because I have aura. Whenever the LED bulbs are full blast into my eyes, I look straight into them, absorb the light, and use it to power my super speed and flying powers. Wait, what?
In my truck or something, but in my BMW or Mini Cooper, I feel like I'm getting flashbanged constantly. I know it's not the driver's fault as much as the manufacturer, but that pisses me off. It is the driver's fault when they forget they have their high beams on though. Holy shit. I live around a lot of back roads and
if you have your high beams on, I feel like you should be dropped into a volcano. You know what scares me, chat? I feel like someone's trying to beef whenever they flash their lights at me, because I've had it happen a few times and like my heart rate always jumps by like 50.
So people have their high beams on all the time, which is no big deal, but I literally don't know how people can forget to turn them off. Sometimes I'll be driving on one of those roads in the middle of the night and around the corner I'll see a light ray sweep directly into my fucking eyes. It's moments like these when you have to lock the in and just look at the white line on the side of the road and pray there.
Yo, that's the strat though. I was in Prince Edward Island and I think my mom or I don't even know, someone was driving. But we were driving and it was pitch dark, no lights anywhere, and we had to figure out where the lane was. The only thing you can do at that point, focus on the yellow line. And that's what we did the entire time. I think it was like a 45-minute drive in the nighttime with no lights. I think there was at least like 3 times on that drive where we drifted into the oncoming traffic and then went back in.
Anything in front of you. Because 1 minute I'm chilling and the next my whole windshield is just white. Like if there was someone on the road with a bike and I was getting high beamed, best believe they're getting pancaked. Speaking of bikers, we have to talk about the Suron epidemic. I think Surons are pretty cool. They seem fun to just get some dirt jumps with or something, but there is no reason for a bunch of middle schoolers to be riding these on the street. Surons actually go like 70 miles an hour for no reason at all. And I'm not trying to be
I've always been interested in trying out a dirt bike at least once in my life. Motorbikes are cool, but hey, when they sit in my blind spot, get out of there. Yo, recently for some reason, I've been seeing everyone trying to hit a wheelie. Like within the last 2 or 3 days, I saw two different people hitting a wheelie on the main road. Is that easy? Like if you know how to do it, is that really easy? Because I feel like it's high risk, no reward.
For speeding middle schoolers while I'm on my way to work. It's not about the presence of the Suron. It's the fact that these dudes aren't even in driver's ed yet. They have no idea how the road works. I had one of these dudes jump off.
Wait, so there's middle schoolers that ride dirt bikes on the main road? I've never experienced this. I don't know if I'm not in the right city. I don't know what this is.
A curb in front of me the other day, and thank the Lord I was locked in. Holy moly. Since these things are electric, you just don't hear them coming at all. Mini bikes and dirt bikes are a different story because you can actually hear them coming from a mile away. What is that picture, bro? But Surons are just like a jump scare every time. There was this one time I was trying to turn left on a somewhat busy street and this car pulled up next to me. Wait, actually, we got to talk about that. because this is worse than Suron. When I'm trying to turn left on a busy road and somebody pulls up next to me to turn right, I can no longer see the left. What are we doing?
When you're trying to turn left onto a busy road and someone pulls up onto you to turn right, yo, what is this, a freaking riddle? Holy moly, what are you even trying to explain?
Is he talking about when you're trying to turn left at an intersection and then the other guy's here trying to turn this way and he's blocking your view so you can't see who's oncoming? Is that what he's talking about?
If you could just give me an extra few seconds to actually see if I can turn without getting T-boned,
yes,
that'd
bro.
be awesome. It's no big deal if there's 2 turn lanes, but when it's a 2-way stop sign or something and the car next to me just invents their own lane, it pisses me off. Doing this makes the whole thing into a gamble. Why do people pull up next to me in the first place when they're trying to turn right? I'm gonna be blocking their vision too. It's not like you can just see through my car or something. Actually, maybe they can, because I kind of drive a fishbowl, unfortunately. This whole situation pisses me off, but it's not nearly as bad as when people pass school buses while the stop sign is up.
Oh, this is something I'll never commit. When kids are in danger, I'm someone that always follows the rules. In school zones, I'll only go 10 over the limit. That's it. Nothing more, right? Going like 80 into school zones.
Where the school bus will flip out the stop sign and I'll be seeing people who are just like, stop sign? What stop sign? And then they just fly right past the school bus. That shit is just weird though. Like, don't do that one for real. While we're talking about school buses though, I just gotta mention how much school buses piss me off. As soon as a school bus drives up next to me, I'm gonna get flipped off, get my car hit by a cheese stick, and probably end up getting my bumper clipped off by the school bus taking a tight turn. I feel like even in these...
The annoying thing about school buses, when they put out the stop sign because kids are getting off the bus, it seems like the kids coming out of the bus is never gonna end. Like, they just keep coming and you're like, yo, how many kids can fit on that damn bus? But the other thing is, at a train track, when they have to stop fully, open their doors, close it again, and then keep driving, that pisses me off because I'm in the flow, bro. I'm driving and then out of nowhere, it's just a halt.
Situations, I'm not one to use the horn though. I've never been too liberal with the horn as far as honking at people goes. That's like an East Coast thing or something. Honking at people and getting honked at just does not help the situation half the time. If someone's gonna back into you or something, then definitely go for it. But there are these select times
I never
when I'll
honked, to be honest. I've never honked.
in a 35, and some Tesla is gonna be sure to pull up right behind me and honk at me just to let me know I'm going a bit too slow for that. I think the more awkward situation...
No, the only time that I've honked or will honk is when there's a green light and someone's not moving that's in front of me, because you need to wake them up, bro. In those scenarios, it's always a 95% chance that they're on their phone, because how do you miss the giant green light in front of you? It's been on for like genuinely 8 seconds and you haven't moved. I'm gonna honk you at that point.
Is being the passenger in a car with someone who loves using the horn way too much. I was once driving with this dude who cut someone off and then he honked at the other driver. I just about put my hood up for that
That
one
pisses me off.
Was so embarrassing. I feel like it's a city driver thing though.
That makes
People
me
who live
mad.
in big cities drive completely differently than everyone else in the
nice
world.
landing.
Like, even if they're in the middle of nowhere, they'll be right on my bumper because they don't want to get stuck in rush hour traffic or something. It's like I need to remind them that we're in the middle of the desert with a total of 3 cars. It's always Teslas though. Teslas are cool because they can launch so hard.
I've always wanted like an electric car just to see how it feels, to be honest. If I had a Tesla, I'd put my location inside the iPad, press go, and then take a nap, and then wake up when I get there.
But in my opinion, they look pretty boring, and half the people who drive them are annoying. I think the best thing about seeing a Tesla in traffic is knowing you can brake check them. If there's a Tesla riding your bumper for no reason at all, they cannot hit you even if they try. These cars have the most sensitive auto braking, and it's so funny. There's a dash cam video out there of a dude brake checking. A Tesla driver was absolutely losing his shit. I think one of the better things about Teslas is that they're usually in good condition though. Whenever I'm driving near a car that's just completely messed up, I feel like I'm gonna be their next victim. I'm not talking about squeaky brakes, exhaust leaks, or lifter kicks, or any of that bullshit. When I see a car with a missing headlight, bumpers hanging on by a thread, and wing mirrors that look like they got macked up by a motorcycle driver, I feel like I'm gonna get my car flipped or some shit. I understand that everyone has their situations and might not be able to afford a car that's all in one piece, but isn't
it like illegal to drive a car when your lights aren't working? It's illegal, right? Some cars that you see on the road, you look at them and you're like, yo, is that even like certified road ready? Just honestly wrap it up and take the bus at this point.
You can tell when a car has been completely messed up due to bad driving. It doesn't piss me off to see a car like this, but that just scares me, to be honest. Maybe we need to stop handing out licenses to everyone. One thing that pisses me off, but maybe it's just a me thing, is when people don't use their blinker at a roundabout. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I'm guilty of this when I'm trying to figure out which which exit to take or
That's
something.
me,
but when I'm
bro.
trying to get in a roundabout and the person coming at me from the left doesn't use their blinker, I'm going to assume they're going to continue going around the roundabout. 20 times out of 10, they exit next to me and I could have gone in the roundabout. It's one of
No, it's the most annoying thing, chat, because you don't know when they're going to exit or enter. Usually you have to give right of way to the people that are already in the roundabout, though. That's like the main thing. For me, when I'm going in a roundabout, I always clicker when I get the hell out of there. So I let the person behind me know, yo, I'm heading out. But I feel like no one does that.
those things that's only a problem when there's a lot of traffic or when I'm in a rush or something, but it pisses me off anyway. Let me know if that's just a me thing though, because the next thing that pisses me off is universal. I think a semi-truck passing a semi-truck is totally fine, but there seems to be some sort of hiccup whenever this happens. Either the one passing just can't quite go fast enough to actually pass, or the truck that's getting passed starts speeding up because they can't let their ego get hurt. Here's a message to both of you.
Want to know why? It's because they're trying to challenge each other to see who's the better truck driver. Yo, I've been driving this truck since the late 80s, and I have more experience than you. And then there's like the noob truck driver. Yo, bro, I got you any day. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. What the hell am I on about? I'm LARPing again, bro. I'm doing freaking schizophrenic LARPing.
You guys, Kroger does not need to get their 20 seconds earlier. You can just take your time and let the small cars go around you. Please. No, I know you guys are on a tight schedule and stuff, but sometimes I'll see two semi trucks just blocking the rest of the highway, and to say the least, it pisses me off. I think something on the opposite end of the spectrum, but arguably worse, is new drivers with fast cars. If you're in high school and your car's 0 to 60 is faster than like 6 seconds, you really have to be careful. Maybe I'm just being jealous, but in high school, whenever people had a 335i or something, they would just be acting a fool. If you know how to actually drive, then no worries at all, but chances are if you just got your license, you probably don't. The number of close calls I've had with BMWs while trying to leave the school parking lot is unreal. It's like as soon as people this age get a car with over two.
The main problem comes from rich families that buy their kid a car at 16, and it's like the fastest thing ever. The first car they drive is like this really strong, high horsepower beast of a car, and they don't know how to handle it. They're pressing down on the gas and they don't realize, yo, you're gonna go flying. Yo, 6'7", right? Funny number.
250 horsepower, they start wearing lead shoes. Like, dude, calm it. I know your N54 sounds cool, but don't plow into my rear bumper just to let me hear the blow-off valve. It's sometimes these exact same dudes who'll get a burble tune and start driving like absolute shit to make the exhaust pop. Like, they'll just hold a gear until 5,000 RPM and then just...
Yeah, I don't know. I've never had much experience with a loud exhaust or making an exhaust pop. Chat, I do have a few friends though that like altered their exhaust to make it louder. When you like cut it off and then it just goes. I've never seen the appeal in having a loud car, to be honest. I guess it's aura on the street, but I feel like it just wakes up the neighbors.
Completely let off the gas. That does not sound
Why are you
cool.
talking?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know.
Sometimes it does sound cool, but if you're obviously driving like to make your exhaust pop, it's like a law of equivalence. It might sound sort of cool maybe, but you'll see people in these cars looking directly at you while they do some dumb shit like that. This is not tough, dude. I think burble tunes are weird, but if your exhaust pops between shifts or like pops a little bit on deceleration, it's usually cool. Speaking of deceleration, why don't some people know that your car slows down without using the brakes? I think
Yo, when I was first driving, I was so confused on how it worked. I thought in order to move at all, you needed to press the gas. So my dad took me out to drive for the first time, and I'm like, yo, why is the car already moving? I just took my foot off the pedal. And then in my head, now I realize how stupid that is, because what would be the point of a brake if it just broke on its own? Am I dumb?
I think Isaac Newton figured this one out a couple years ago. Unless you're going down a steep hill, the car is gonna start slowing down when you let off the gas. Like seriously, there is no reason to be periodically tapping the brakes instead of just coasting and letting gravity do the work. I'm sure anyone who's ever driven behind a Nissan Altima knows the feeling. I'll be driving behind one of these on a flat road.
Yo, those scared drivers that be spamming the brake every 2 seconds. And it's like, bro, just drive.
Will be a stop sign 50 feet ahead, and they will hit the brakes and then accelerate to get to the stop sign. Gas prices are not this
so
good,
bad, bro.
Unc. You cannot be doing all that. A key lesson from this section is if you stop powering the car will stop powering. But another thing about coming to a stop is awkward traffic lights. Traffic lights are sometimes like 2012 quad lobbies. You'll just be at a stop, and then the
Yo, what I thought of immediately was when they put like 8 lights literally 2 centimeters from each other. I know you have have to have a way to like control the traffic. But when you hit a light and then you drive like 100 meters and there's another light, and then you drive 100 meters and there's another light, it's like, bro, am I ever gonna get to where I want to be?
Moment the light turns green, someone's honking. Like, what kind of throttle response do you think I have? I think the worst part about traffic lights is when people don't know how an unprotected left works. There have been so many times that I've got cut off from some dude just gassing it through an unprotected left turn. I feel like that situation leaves way too much thinking for some drivers out there. Okay, wait, I just thought of another.
What's an unprotected left turn? Does anyone know? I've never heard of that. When I was 16, drunk, I was driving. Yo. There's a few things wrong with that picture. First of all, you said the driving age was 18, so you're underage. Second of all, you're drunk. Third of all, you're 16 and drunk.
Other situation at traffic lights that pisses me
What's
off
up, Silver?
even more. When I'm behind someone who doesn't stop at the fucking stop line. I know they probably think they're a good person or some for stopping way behind the stop line, but I promise.
Oh, behind it? I do after. So if there's like a line that you have to stop at, I go right over the crosswalk and I block the people's path of walking. Is that bad? Maybe. Do I care? Not really.
The traffic light does not see you. Unless the traffic lights are on timers, we're gonna be sitting there for a long time. Speaking of sitting in a car for a long time, you're not gonna be sitting in your car for very long if you don't wear a seatbelt. I swear, some people prefer to hear the seatbelt warning chime blaring instead of just clipping in their seatbelt. Must be too fat for the seatbelt or something, I don't know. There's literally zero reason to not wear a seatbelt. If I get in an accident with someone and they fly through the windshield, best believe I'm not gonna go scrape them off the asphalt. When I'm
I don't know if you guys remember those like demonstration videos they'd show us in school of safe driving and why you should always put on your seatbelt. They would do a comparison. They'd be like, seatbelt, and then the guy's chill. He's like, versus no seatbelt. And then the guy goes flying out the freaking window.
I need to feel like I'm glued to the seat. Otherwise, it's just so uncomfortable. Not as uncomfortable as seeing a big truck hauling nothing. I have a love-hate relationship with lifted trucks that haul absolutely nothing. I love it because I think it's about as funny as to see a tiny dude with a $100,000 truck on rubber bands and chrome wheels. Because you know that guy is like an accountant or some shit and has never even worn a piece of Carhartt, let alone put a...
Yeah, it's so funny when you see like a massive truck and then you look inside the front window and it's some guy with like a button-up shirt and then glasses and a slick back hair. You do not match your car. There's like certain people that like match the aesthetic of their car. Like if you have a giant monster truck looking thing, bro, you better have like a bunch of tattoos, bald, massive beard, Viking looking dude, right?
Dick in the bed truck. So yeah, I love them because they're funny to look at, but when you have to share the road with one of those, holy shit. Give me a break. When they're behind me, they're taking up like 3 lanes, right on my ass, probably don't see me, and I feel like I'm gonna get run over. And when I'm behind one of these trucks, it's like they're rolling coal all over my car. And I have to look at all those bumper stickers that are just yapping about some bullshit. And worst of all, they have those
Yeah, like when they're in like dirt or something, and they just like blast it into your windshield, and you're just like, oh!
Blow kits that make me feel like I'm gonna have a seizure. In all fairness, I respect the grind, and it's cool that they've put so much time into a build like this, but I personally think a truck should be used for truck stuff. Maybe that's just me though. Like the bed sizes of these trucks literally haven't changed since the 90s, but the grill has like quadrupled in height. It kind of sounds like a whole lot of coping. I'll probably always be the type to drive an older truck for this reason. One last thing though, I've only ever sat in a
I don't know much about trucks, to be honest. All I know is if I had one, I'd close the back, fill it with water, and use it as a hot tub.
Lifted truck like this one time, and to be completely fair, I felt like I owned the road. So I get the appeal, I guess, but it still pisses me off.
If I was in a truck, I would drive insanely recklessly. Well, what's gonna hurt me when I'm genuinely 3 feet off of the road, elevated? I have the power, bro. You ain't gonna run me over. I'm joking.